Star Wars items have arrived in the Valley, and I must say, they look incredible. Today is Refresh Day, and it's a big one to say the least. Exciting new premium items have arrived in the shop. Cheshire Cat emerges once more, bringing a brand new quest. And we've received an interesting Dreamsnap challenge. In today's video, we'll provide a full review and showcase of this week's premium shop lineup, including the Valley's newest Wishing Well skin. We'll take a look at my Dreamsnap results for Daisy's Runway. We'll discuss this week's Star Wars themed Dreamsnap challenge. And finally, we'll close out the video by breaking down Cheshire Cat's newest quest and what you can expect next from our mysterious feline visitor. So I hope you're ready because we have a lot to talk about. Before we get started, I'd like to mention that I'm a small full-time content creator, so every like on this video can make a tremendous difference for me. Consider subscribing for more Disney Dreamlight Valley and gaming content. If you would like to catch more of my content, you can find me live on Twitch Monday through Friday. Links to both my Twitch channel and Discord server can be found in the video description down below. And with that out of the way, let's get started. Alright everyone, welcome back to the channel. As mentioned in the intro, we got some really exciting items in the premium shop this week, and it appears for those of you that weren't able to purchase some of the Star Wars bundles that came to the shop last week, they were not phased out. So you still have time to get R2, the Naboo Villa, the furniture bundle, and more. Now there's a good chance these items will phase out this week, so if you are short on moonstones, just remember you can use the pinning feature. By hovering over any item you don't have, you'll see a save bundle option down here in the bottom right. So if you really want this Padme ensemble, or if you really want the lightsaber but you don't have the moonstones this week, be sure to pin it before the week comes to an end. Again, you can have up to 2 things pinned and they will not expire from your shop. Now with that out of the way, let's have a quick look at everything in the shop this week, and then we'll move on to a full review of these items, and I'll even show you like a little build showcase of how all these items can play and work together. Now pricing wise, everything new in the shop this week, all of these items here are $17.50. The Padme ensemble, the Anakin Skywalker Jedi ensemble, and yes, even the lightsaber. So this is the first accessory we've seen that costs $17.50 instead of $1,200, but there is a very good reason for that, which we will get into more during the showcase. I have to say the Padme ensemble is beautiful. I have it on my female avatar right now. I know it looks kind of silly with my cloak on and my male avatar here, but I am so happy with the way this looks. It's one of the most beautiful dresses in the game, and not only does it come with the dress, it also comes with the Padme Amidala hairstyle and Padme's lakeside shoes. Next up, we have what might possibly be my favorite outfit bundle of all time, the Anakin Skywalker Jedi Ensemble. This comes with some really cool stuff. I mean, the Jedi robe by itself is really fun, but Anakin Skywalker's Jedi cloak, I think this can be used in so many different ways. Superhero dream snaps, Halloween dream snaps, scary builds. There's so many fun ways you can use a cloak. You can use it for like a rogue or an adventurer if we have another like foresty challenge. So I love the fact that the cloak is not attached to the robe. You can use it separately, which is a huge perk. And just like the Padme ensemble, the Anakin Skywalker one also has its own unique hairstyle, as well as a pair of shoes, and these are going to be, well, boots really. Anakin Skywalker's Jedi boots, and these boots look pretty good. Moving on to the lightsaber here, this thing is amazing. It's got really fun sound effects, and as you can see here in the shop, it says equip your avatar with this hand accessory and enjoy 4 new poses in your photo mode. So this is a first. We have never seen this before with any accessory, but I hope this is a sign of things to come. I hope we start seeing better accessories in the game with more utility, more variety in the poses. I'm a big fan of having a lot of different posing options, so the fact that this accessory gives us 4 new ones, and not only that, but it still has the basic handheld accessory pose that comes with all the accessories. So in truth, this gives you 5, and we'll look at all of them here momentarily. Now, as mentioned a minute ago, the R2-D2, Naboo Villa, and Naboo Interior have not expired. These are still in the shop this week, so if you missed out last week, you still have time to get these bundles, and like we discussed earlier, you can still pin them if you can't get them this week, if you are very interested. These have been in the shop for over a week, so I'm not going to go over the moonstone cost. I'm sure you guys are very very aware of that right now, but these will be included in our showcase so you can see all these items working together. Now, there's a lot of hype and excitement around the Star Wars stuff, but I really don't want them to overshadow this new bundle. We have the Springtime Valley bundle, which comes with this amazing Springtime Wishing Well skin. We only have one other option for Wishing Well skins right now, and it's the Aladdin theme one, the Agrabah one, which only works in certain environments. This Springtime Wishing Well, I feel, is way more versatile. And I have a Springtime Valley, so I'm about to use this thing everywhere. I'm so in love with this new well. I just love floral or nature-inspired things. I love the glass here at the top. Everything about this is just awesome. And in this bundle, you also get the new Goofy stall. I love the vines growing on it. I love the flowers planted down here. It's just so pretty. But what really stands out to me with this new well and this new Goofy stall is that they're bundled. In the past, new Goofy stalls would cost you $1,200, new Wishing Wells would cost you $1,200, but now we can pick up both of them for $2,000. So we're actually saving 400 moonstones. They easily could have put these in the shop individually, and I think most players would have purchased them for $1,200 a piece. So I don't know about you, but I am very happy that they are bundled together. Now, of course, if you were only able to afford one, that might be kind of a headache, because if you're down to your last $1,200 and you really want this Wishing Well, now you got to save up to $2,000, so yeah, that could be a bit of a headache, but I think a majority of people are going to be saving moonstones because of this bundling. Let me know your thoughts on that in the comments below. On top of all of that exciting stuff, we also have a couple of limited time deals, couple 20% off bundles, Red Panda onesie, and the Finding Nemo inspired outfit. Too bad this Finding Nemo one didn't come to the shop last week, because this jacket here was actually a high value item, and I think a lot of people could have benefited from having it, but it is what it is. So now that we've covered what's in the shop, let's dive into the showcase and builds. Getting into our build showcase, the first thing we're going to talk about is the Naboo Villa. Now, if you're familiar with Star Wars, you know Naboo is Padme's home planet. It's a beautiful, lush, green world, teeming with life, as well as advanced tech and a beautiful culture. So in placing the Naboo Villa, I included a lot of jungle trees in the background, as well as some extra flora within the midground of this area. Behind my avatar, you can also see the R2 projector. Paired with the villa, I have the Oasis home and Jumbo's Cafe, and in my opinion, their architecture looks pretty good with the Naboo Villa. Overall, it was a pretty fast, more of like a basic build, but my goal with the build was to showcase what kind of environment the house can really thrive in. You know, it's got all these plants growing on it, the little droid going around, watering them, so having a lot of plants and jungle trees on the backdrop, I think brings out those details even more, and including some advanced tech like the holo table near the house gives it more of that Star Wars verse feel. Of course, we also have the incredible R2-D2. Very excited to have this little guy. I love his new pose. One thing I really like about the pose is with the new camera functionality now, you can hide your companions. So if you want to do that little heart hand pose for maybe a Valentine's Day snap, but you don't want it to be Star Wars themed, you can use this pose and you can hide R2, which makes him a very good companion to utilize even if you're not doing a Star Wars build. Now, in addition to this utility, you can also put a companion home somewhere around the Naboo Villa, and you can attach R2 to that companion home. So even if you're not bringing R2 out with you, he can be a really good addition to the environment in which you place the Naboo Villa. Now, out of all the Star Wars stuff we got last week, the only thing we haven't touched on quite yet would be the decor bundle that came alongside this Naboo Villa. Now, the Naboo Villa comes with its own wallpaper and flooring as well. As you can see here in the video, it's very reflective. You can see the lights from my chandeliers just bouncing off of it, and the wall also has this same glossy effect, which looks incredible. Now, I use some things in this build that are not from this bundle, mostly the plants, because I'm playing up on Naboo being a very lush green world, and also these doors. I think these doors just look really good with the Naboo Villa, and if you're curious, these are the wooden Agrabah doors. The colors just work really well. The architecture, you know, it fits so nicely. I know they're not very advanced or sophisticated doors, but they blend into the environment very well. Now let's talk about all the decor that was from the bundle. First off, you have these wall pillars. I love these pillars. They have the same kind of glossy texture that the new wallpaper and flooring has. They are a little wide, coming in at 3 placement squares, where most pillar sets are 2 placement squares. But that problem can be remedied by adjusting adjusting your room size to 12 by 12, giving you a bit more flexibility with their placement. Keep in mind, these can only be attached to the walls, so they're not standalone pillars. The next item we're going to talk about is the Naboo fireplace here, and technically this is another wall item, but that's something I really love about it. We have a lot of fireplaces in the game that come out from the wall and occupy a lot of space in the room. What's really great about the Naboo fireplaces is that they recess into the wall. Not only that, but the lighting they provide is really nice. You can see the light from the fire reflecting off of it as the fire burns. Beautiful detail. Next up, we have the Naboo windows, and again, I just really love these. The dark red curtains, the shape and architecture, and best of all, the leaves and vines growing over and onto the outside of the window. There's also a bit of moisture and condensation built up where the vines are, and I think that's a really nice touch. Next up, we have the Naboo table and chairs. As with everything else in this bundle, it looks really good with the wallpaper and flooring. The circular base of the table fits perfectly into these circular structures here on the flooring, and there's a couple of little concave points in the table that are perfect for a couple of chairs. You can also have chairs on the outside over here if you would like, but I think using two looks fantastic. I love the little chrome centerpiece on the table. I think that's another fun detail, and it's very reflective. Next up, we have the Naboo couch and the hollow table. The hollow table is super fun. I've seen people using it in the foreground of their dream snaps, especially if they're doing something with R2. It's a great, very futuristic style of item. There's like this bluish mist light coming off, and then below the top, we have this ring of yellow light, and overall just has a very clean finish. This thing looks phenomenal. Moving on to the couch. This might be one of the nicest couches in the game, and again, just looks perfect with the wallpaper and flooring. The details and patterns on the cushions and pillows is phenomenal. I mean, look at the textures on that center pillow. It looks so realistic. I also love the gold frill at the bottom and the gold puffs here on the armrests with these little reddish tassels hanging down. They could not have made this couch look any better. Now, there's just one more item in the Naboo Villa bundle here as far as decor goes, and that's the Naboo bed. And when I saw the bed in the menu, I wasn't too excited about it, but once I placed it, I was actually a really big fan of it. My favorite thing about the bed is on the headboard here, there's this little yellow light interlaid with this reflective gold, and it just looks really good both up close and from a distance. Like if we move away from it here, that little light really catches your eye, and once your eye moves to that light, you start to appreciate the architecture and design of the bed as well. I love the colors of it here, the darker browns, the darker reds, the golds, a beautiful piece of furniture. And with that, we've covered everything within this main room here in my Naboo Villa. I just wanted to highlight these items and put them together with some fun items already in the game, just to showcase a few of the possibilities with these new bundles. This can also come in very handy for this week's Dream Snap Challenge, which we will talk about a bit later. Now let's move on to this week's new set of items, starting with the Anakin Skywalker wardrobe outfit here. I love this ensemble. Again, especially the cape. The fact that we're going to be able to equip this cape separately is such a blessing. And switching to my female avatar here, we have the Padme ensemble, and oh my god, this looks so good. The neck piece, the arm braces, the flow of the dress, the silver flowers with the silver beads hanging at the bottom, same with the one on her lower back. The hairstyle that comes with it is also very nice. It's got this great reflective property and these purple bands that match both the shoes and the dress. I think one of my favorite things about the dress would be the color blending. The fact that it goes from this like cream white to pink to a light purple at the base makes it such an eye-catching wardrobe item. Now, as for the shoes, they're probably the least exciting thing in the bundle. They just kind of feel like some generic purple heels, but they do fit the coloration of the base of the dress perfectly, as well as the coloration of the hairbands. Last thing I'll say about the dress is I really like the exposed back as well. Overall, it's just a beautiful outfit, and I'm so happy to have this. And with everything else out of the way, it's time to move on to what might be the most exciting item in the shop this week, the lightsaber. So what makes this such a good item is that this is the first accessory ever that comes with multiple different poses. So right now, this is the basic accessory pose that every accessory has, where your avatar just simply holds the item. But with the lightsaber, if you go into your camera mode and you go to additional poses, you will now see a hand with a 1, a hand with a 2, a 3, and a 4. So I definitely think this is going to be a feature coming to more accessories in the game as new accessories emerge. And on the topic, I would not be surprised if we got a red, like a Sith saber at some point, with completely different and more threatening poses. The different stances and styles offered by the lightsaber accessory is really nice. And if you have Anakin's Jedi robe equipped, it looks so good with the cape. Like the cape blows in the wind. A super fun touch. Anyway, this would be pose number 1. Here we have pose number 2. Pose number 3, which I think was Ataru, which is Yoda's lightsaber style. I could be wrong. I don't know. It's the battle stance Yoda took when he first took on Palpatine. Anyway, and finally we have the 4th new pose. And these poses look so good with both the male and female avatar. I've also played with facial expressions while using the different poses, and it is pretty nice. If you want to come off more relaxed or more aggressive, I definitely recommend playing around with the facial expressions as you play around with these. It's a good time. Like this one's a bit funny and odd with the default smile, but I think it's pretty fun with the smirk. And of course, as with most accessories, you can equip your lightsaber outside of photo mode, but it does turn off when you start to run around, and then it turns back on when you stop. At first, I was like, oh, that kind of sucks, but I get it because the running animation, look at the way the avatar runs. We would be stabbing ourselves in the face with that lightsaber with every step we took, and it would be clipping through. It would look ridiculous. So it's actually pretty smart that the devs set it up this way. That way we don't have this weird clipping where we're constantly poking our eye out with the lightsaber. The alternative would have been to give us a completely different type of running animation, and I just don't think they had time for that. They were just trying to make a new accessory. Not to mention the fact that it turns off and then turns back on again. You get the really cool sound effect of it reactivating or deactivating as you move around your valley, and that grew on me really quick. At first I was a little bummed that it turned off, but then I looked at the running animation and I was like, okay, that actually makes a lot of sense. And I kept on feeling satisfied hearing it reactivate every time I stopped. It's just like such a soothing sound for me. With that, we've covered all of these exciting Star Wars items within the premium shop, but we're not done yet. Let's take a look at the new Wishing Well skin and the new Goofy Stall skin. So as most of you are aware, I already have like a very big spring vibe in my valley. I have a spring / Mulan themed valley. So these wells are just absolutely perfect for me. One of my favorite things about the well would be just how eye-catching the well glows on this particular skin. It casts the same amount of light, but thanks to the coloration of this new well, the light that it casts is far more noticeable. I also really love the big beautiful flowers blooming at the top and the pink flowers we have hanging down from the greenhouse style of roof. On top of all that, I also really like the stone base. It works perfect with the pathing I have in my valley. Moving on to the new Goofy Stall, and for the most part, I like it for the exact same reasons that I like the well. It's got a beautiful springtime feel. With light blue playing such a big role in its coloration, it fits really nicely with my light pinks. We have some pink hyacinths up here on the top left, some white bellflowers on the top right. The roof is covered with these beautiful green vines with these little yellow flowers, and the yellow of those flowers matches this pastel yellow of the trim of the stall. Also here on the right-hand side, there's a few extra flowers, which is just really cute, and the banner behind the stall has that kind of pastel yellow and pastel blue. So yeah, I gotta say, I'm a huge fan of this new well skin. I like the Agrabah one too, but it was very niche. Like, it's not something you can put in a lot of biomes, whereas this one, I could see it going over very well in the meadow, in the Forest of Valor, in the Sunlit Plateau, in the Wild Tangle, and in many other biomes. It just has really, really good versatility. Now that we've covered everything in the premium shop, it's time to move on to Dream Snaps. We're not going to spend too long on Dream Snaps today, because like I mentioned in the intro, I really want to talk about the Cheshire Cat, as we have a new quest with the Cheshire Cat today, and we'll officially be welcoming the cat to our valley in just one more week. So today's results are going to be from Daisy's Fashion Runway. And for me, this was an interesting challenge. I wasn't super excited about it at first, but I do like what I put together, so let's check my mail and see how we did. All right, wow, better than I expected. I was not expecting a top 100 for this one, and we got rank 35. Scored an A 3.5, rank 35, got our 4,000 moonstones, which is great because there there are a lot of exciting things coming to the shop. Also, for anybody out there on YouTube, a big part of my content on Twitch is Dreamsnap support. Every Monday and every Tuesday, I review all of the Dreamsnaps sent my way and provide critiques, pointers, and advice to help people get 4,000 Moonstones and maintain 4,000 Moonstones regularly. If you'd be interested in any Dreamsnap support, drop by the Twitch channel. I'm live Monday through Friday. And with that, let's take a look at my submission. All right, here it is. This is Daisy's fashion runway. Not going to spend too much time on it as we have plenty of other things to discuss, but since the challenge mentioned Daisy by name, I made sure to make her the star of the show. Well, next to me, of course. So the idea for this snap was to build this elegant and beautiful runway show. I brought in a lot of villagers, we set off some fireworks, we have this beautiful red carpet going down the center, lined with these neon blue Mickey lights, and I created an outfit that was fashion forward, but also inspired by Daisy, and I wanted to feel like high fashion. You can see Ariel walking away behind me in her beautiful ball gown. So for my outfit, I have this purple newsy dress with the chrome and the lights catching it, and it looks really fun and reflective. And of course, for my hat, I'm wearing the pink bow, just like Daisy's wearing a pink bow. I have some elbow-length cream-colored gloves, and of course the strawberry purse accessory. We're also wearing the pearl and gold rose necklace, the pink rose gold earrings, and some thin framed glasses. I really think Daisy made this photo. Just the way she has her hand out and she's winking, as if she were saying, "That's right, this is my work, what do you think?" So yeah, like I said, wasn't expecting a top 100, but I think Daisy carried. I think this is all thanks to Daisy, so thanks again for your help, Daisy. Anyway, if you came across this stream snap and you liked it enough to vote for it, thank you very much. And with that out of the way, let's move on to this week's brand new Dream Snap Challenge. So I'm really excited about this one. This week's challenge is called Coziness Beyond the Stars. Create a serene corner in a galaxy far, far away, where tech and coziness collide. Use futuristic designs, warm tones, and sci-fi elements to craft a relaxing space fit for heroes, rebels, and dreamers alike. I can't believe I'm saying this, but we have a Star Wars themed Dream Snap Challenge. Now, of course, it does not have to be Star Wars themed. The main takeaway here is to use futuristic designs, warm tones, and sci-fi elements to create a relaxing space fit for heroes, rebels, and dreamers alike. So if you haven't purchased any of these Star Wars items, don't worry. There are plenty of things you can utilize that carry the tags of modern, strong, and futuristic. Though I will say for some of the high value items this week, there are several things from the Star Wars bundles, like the Naboo sofa, table, hollow table, the Naboo chair, and 3 things that can only be used indoor that carry all 4 tags. So it may be a great week to do an indoor Star Wars themed Naboo home. Now, aside from these Star Wars items, like if you don't have the Star Wars items, fortunately, the ancient treadmill, the laugh canister rack, the arcade carpet, all 3 of these items are also very high value, holding all 4 tags. Beyond that, there are simply a ton of 3 tag options this week. So I'm excited to see exactly how people execute this challenge, because there are a lot of different pathways and options available for players to take with this particular theme. And I think we're going to see some pretty wild stuff out there. So I just can't wait for voting on this one. Let me know your thoughts on this week's challenge. As a lot of you guys know, I'm a huge fan of Star Wars, and I've just been so happy to see it finally come to the game. I know it's not everyone's cup of tea, but I am excited for myself and my fellow Star Wars enthusiasts. So, what do you think about this challenge? With that, we have but one thing left to discuss, and that's the return of our mysterious and mischievous feline friend, the Cheshire Cat. As of today, which is April 30th, if you complete a Cheshire Cat Screwed Shop quest, you will receive a new quest as you head into Chez Remy, called Chaos in the Kitchen. After speaking with Remy, you'll be tasked with investigating the paw prints, which guide you to 4 spots within the restaurant. There's one at the front of the counter, one on a memory frame, one on the table by the front door, and one behind the counter. With all 4 removed, you'll receive a recipe book for the Cheshire Cat tail. You'll then cook the new dish, give it to Remy, and head outside. Outside of the restaurant, you'll find 3 messes. For me, one was out front and the other 2 were behind the restaurant. After cleaning these messes, head inside, where you'll be greeted by the Cheshire Cat. Speak with him and then speak with Remy, and the quest will be complete. With that, you're now almost ready to invite the Cheshire Cat into your valley. All that remains is to wait one more week, as our next quest will begin on May 7th. And this troublesome cat will finally become a permanent resident within our valley. And there you have it, my friends. Exciting new Star Wars items, a beautiful new Wishing Well skin, an interesting Dreamsnap challenge, and the return of Cheshire Cat. Looks like it's shaping up to be a pretty fun week in the valley. If you found today's video helpful, informative, or simply entertaining, please do me a very big favor and press that like button. Also, consider subscribing for more Disney Dreamlight Valley and gaming content. If you would like to catch more of my content, you can find me live on Twitch Monday through Friday. Links to both my Twitch channel and Discord server can be found in the video description down below. As always, thank you so much for your time today, and I hope you enjoy the future of Disney Dreamlight Valley.